what education session are you really looking forward to?
Mike and Ted and I are working on one that's kind of a new concept for HITEC this year. And it's going to be a fast-paced, high-level overview of 9 of the current hot trends in the industry. And most of these trends relate to some session at HITEC or another. And the idea is we'll do it first thing on Monday morning, hit these 9 trends at a surface level, but meaningfully. And then the attendees can use that experience to say, okay, I want to learn more about this subject. I'm going to go to that HITEC session that touches on this subject, or they can say, okay, I know what I need to about this. I'm going to go to some other session that has more what I want about.
And I guess, Kristen, the other thing I would say is there isn't probably one that I would say that I'm looking forward to. I think I'm looking forward to a lot of the presentation, especially this year. I think many of us are coming out from the COVID fog and what have you, and really are interested in seeing what's out there. And I do think that there's many, first of all, the advisory team did an excellent job of sorting numerous topics down to the critical few and being able to just go through them and just spend a few days to really get relevant. This is a good year to do that.
I think one of the issues I'm looking at is, the great resignation, as we call it. How we as an industry going to embrace the labor shortages, and what role is technology going to play? I think that's really going to be a significant one. And obviously, 2 years on from contactless and touchless, where are we at? How are we embracing high tech versus high touch? And, and I'd be hopeful in some of the presentations we can get some firsthand experience how hotel chains have rolled the technology out and how their guests reacted to that. Have guests suffered because we've moved to an essentially contactless environment? So there's some of the things I'm looking at to try and see if some of the presentations will embrace that.
I think the session on managing remote employment will tie into this pretty well. It's certainly one of the aspects of the pandemic that will remain, I think, as we move through recovery and back to full normalcy, at least to some degree. Certainly less in high touch, hospitality settings, but in a lot of the supporting roles that are played behind the scenes, there's a great deal of that work that perhaps could or should be done remotely. So, everyone's been sort of surviving in a remote environment in a lot of ways over the last 2 years, but, learning how we can actually embrace that and thrive to some degree will be an interesting thing to take away.
And the exhibitor tutorials, I have to say that last year at HITEC, I was really impressed with the quality of the exhibitor tutorials. I think they did a great job of showcasing their newest stuff and demonstrating their ability to integrate with other products. Really being able to have that hands-on live tutorial, I thought was a real benefit as well. Really helped to demonstrate what they're offering. Mm-hmm.
Yep, I'm personally looking forward to the addition of the finance track this year as part of the education programming. I think that it'll be a great addition for those folks that are, like me, that are trying to rack up enough continuing ed to maintain their CHAE designations.
I think once again to emphasize, this year is hopefully going to be the most normal of the last 3 years, right? Mm-hmm. I really do think that return to normalcy and being able to engage, being able to have occupancy or having the turnout that we've always had in the past. I'm kind of looking forward to that.
And I honestly think, that we're kind of shifting back from being reactive to strategic, right? I think there are a lot of different technologies that people employed to try to, kind of mitigate the situation with the pandemic. And I think at this point, everybody's been able to take a step back and then look at, their technology stack more strategically, just in and of itself. It's not as reactive, I would say.